Naishanda Larimore, founder of Save 1,000 Lives, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission and purpose is to educate the multicultural community, address the myths concerning organ donation, and also register 1,000 people to become organ donors. To become an organ donor, register at donatelifeflorida.org. You can also support the mission by donating funds on Cash App Save 1,000 Lives. And for more information, email us at save1000livestour@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to Transplant Talk with Naishanda. I am so excited about our show today. We have very special guests. We have the Edwards. I call them my celebrity couple of Jacksonville. They are a happily married husband and wife team here in Jacksonville, Florida. And they have such a remarkable story that I definitely want to be able to share with you. To give you a little background, we both worked with an organization called EMAT that was created by Miss Shirley Scott Brill. And they definitely created EMAT, which stands for Educating Minorities About Transplants. And you can find them on Facebook as well. And so actually, Miss Edwards, LaTasha, and I went to a church together to show, I was the face of what it looks like when someone's not an organ donor, and she is the face of a living donor who gave the gift of life to her husband. You heard me right. Yes, she gave the gift of life to her husband. So LaTasha Edwards Jones is my shero. You know, I got a lot of sheros. So she is a fabulous woman. You know, they hook now. You know, he can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. He definitely has to stay with her. And guys, they actually did a story as well as I did on the news with Channel 12. And so that is how we came together and met. And they have such a powerful, powerful story. And so, again, our mission at Transplant Talk is to bring awareness. And I have a goal of raising awareness and also registering 1,000 people to become organ donors. So that is my mission. We want to educate, bring awareness, and we definitely have to inform our viewers on why it's so very, very important to become an organ donor. So at this time, I'm going to bring the celebrity couple on, the Edwards. And guys, help me welcome them to our show. All right. Hey, y'all.
Hello. How you doing?
How are y'all doing?
We're good.
Well, I'm going to pull us out, guys. Thank you all for doing the show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, I was talking with, LaTasha. I said, more, I hope she said yes. I was just praying and praying. I said, I hope she really says yes, because I know, you all have a very powerful story and a powerful testimony on why people should become organ donors. So I'm excited and delighted that you all are here. And I think we already have a comment already. So you all, now this must be okay. So I see who that is. So we're in this. We have so many things going on right now with COVID-19. We have a lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, the murder of Mr. Floyd. My condolences to the family. I haven't really spoken out about that yet. So definitely my condolences to the family. I hope things get get so much better for this country and our community. And, I definitely just wanted to send out, my condolences to that mother and his children, for his life being taken away in such a horrific way. You know, a lot of things we can't do in private, you know, and for me, that was really, really sad to display that all on national TV, and it just keeps repeating. And it's a vicious cycle that hopefully we are able to, we hope we got to get rid of it because it's really, really terrible. So I'm going to start with you all. You all look lovely, look real good together. Maybe come back out. Let me look real good together. I definitely want to get started with, you know, how did you all meet? You know, what brought LaTasha and Steven together? How did you all meet?
You go ahead, Tom.
We met through a mutual friend, and we started working together and basically just started dating from there, and here we are.
And you all have celebrated how many years of marriage together?
This is the 21st year.
21 years. September.
Yes.
Look, now he know the date. Come on. Come on. Come on, Tasha. You got a good one right there. He
September,
knows.
yeah, September made 21 years.
September 21 years. That is a blessing within itself.
Right.
And how many children do you all have?
We have 2 daughters, ages 21 and 17.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I have to ask that question. Are they organ donors? Are they taking after mom?
They are both organ donors. Yeah. Okay. I went with my youngest daughter just 2 years ago to get her license, and she said she wanted to be an organ donor on her own. I just looked at her license and I didn't even tell her. She just was like, I signed up to be an organ donor. And I guess you know what mama went through. So for dad. So it's very important to become an organ donor. She knows the importance of it.
Oh man, that is fabulous. The children are more sympathetic about, you know, understanding the importance of becoming an organ donor. So well, I definitely want to know, what was your normal routine? What was life like before finding out, you know, that Steven needed a kidney?
Well, before that, he was on dialysis. I mean, he was a diabetic. So being a diabetic does sometimes things to different parts of your organs. And with that being said, it led to his kidneys failing. So life before that, I mean, we go on trips, we take a lot of cruises, we vacation a lot, go to the movies. He was just living a healthy lifestyle. And 2017, where it all happened, where he actually had to be put on dialysis behind the kidneys failing.
Okay, so you all were on vacation.
Oh, well, that happened. Yes, we were the trip to Vegas, and he was very swole, and not knowing what was really going on. The doctors had already told him that he was probably going to need to be on dialysis, but that trip led us straight to dialysis because he was swole from the trip. I guess a lot of the fluids weren't flowing in his body well, and he really didn't do too much on that trip, but lay down. And so as soon as we hit back to Jacksonville, he went to the doctor, and maybe like a week later, they told him, you're going to have to be placed on dialysis.
Well, then definitely, Steve, how she explained how you had the fluid on you. I know fluid is something that really can prohibit you from being able to walk long distances. I know some people even had developed gout, as well. So exactly how are you feeling in Vegas, during that time for that radar to?
It was a bad trip. I really didn't do a whole lot. Pretty much the first day was pretty much just walking around on adrenaline. But the second day it kind of hit me. Couldn't do too much walking. Stayed in the hotel room basically the majority of the trip after that, and it was just a bad trip. Got to do a do-over.
So you got to go back.
Yeah.
Now, I know sometimes doctor somehow puts the patients as it relates to the fluid intake, did they put you on a fluid restriction?
Yeah, when I started dialysis, they told me it was 32 ounces per day, which is basically, a big gulp or whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of talked them into giving me 40 ounces a day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much all you can drink all day, 40 ounces of fluid. And that was to me, it was kind of miserable because you're used to just drinking whatever you want to, anytime you want to. Now you pretty much got to have like a 8-ounce cup and measure it out with meals, not to go over your fluids. So you won't build up fluid on you and go back in and they chastise you about taking fluid off of you.
Yeah. Did you, what is the medicine they use to help get the fluid off? Lasix. Is it Lasix?
Water pills. Yeah, I was on those, yes.
Okay. And so I know from the past, being able to go to different restaurants, eating different foods that had, say, for example, watermelon or pineapple. It's hard to eat those, and you can, go overboard because you just love the fruit,
Right.
not thinking, oh man, I'm about to go beyond what I'm supposed to drink today.
Right.
And, making sure that even when you go out to restaurants, you will ask, or I definitely would ask, what size cup is this? Because I need to know. You feel like LaTasha, you look like you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Not easy. I couldn't imagine being in those food for his. Something he had to do.
Right.
You have to do it. You just got to do it. And he got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did something wrong, you said the center, they would say, we know that you drunk overboard.
Oh,
if we're pulling a lot off you today, or it's harder for him those days, but he would be in trouble by the ladies up there at the dialysis center when he went over. But for the most part, he held it down. And you were on dialysis for how long?
A year and 4 months.
A year and 4 months before that transplant. So
wow,
it's not long compared to some people. But
okay, yeah,
long to those that do it.
Right. I just know that transition of going from in the home where you're measuring everything and you're seasoning the food and you're doing all of those all of those things just to make sure as the wife that everything is okay. So as the caregiver, how are you? Because they don't always ask how caregivers do it. So how are you doing that time?
I'm doing me now as a caregiver, or me after the transplant?
Before the transplant, how were you?
Because before the transplant, I was yes, everything was it was a big life change as far as cooking the right things. He was always a diabetic since that, but when I first met him, he was a diabetic. So the things that he would eat, I would have to kind of watch what I'm putting on, the seasoning of the foods, and making sure he's getting his veggies in, and just making sure he's eating healthy meal daily, and not going overboard with the sweets and the sodas and everything he couldn't have. So I was already kind of used to him because he was a diabetic, knowing what he should have and shouldn't have. And then it made it easy when the transplant came apart, because we already know what to do because of that. Being diabetic, you have to really watch everything. So as a caregiver, I think I did pretty good for him.
I would agree. I would concur.
Yes. And I've been caregiving for a long time, and then even after transplant, I had to become not only his donor but his caregiver as well, because his healing time was not as fast as my healing time after transplant. Right. So being a donor and a caregiver all in one and a mom and a wife, right, all in one. It's a lot of duties, but I held it down for us.
Wow. Wow. And that is the part that I'm referring to, how I know when schools had to shut down and parents were trying to juggle school, work, kids don't want to do work. But when you are in this transplant world, knowing that they got to go to all of these different appointments, you still got to take care of the kids. The kids are still in different activities, but you got to balance. A lot of people don't understand, this world at all. It just isn't. It's not
normal.
Right.
It's not normal. Yeah.
So this is a new normal, and you handled it so well. That is what I can see how you took care of him and had to, and even took care of yourself. I'm sure the girls, your daughters, helped as much as they can because of the love for both of you. But it's good to have that family support, and that was always that was important to me. Just to be able to have that support. And now you said he was a diabetic when you first met him. Was there anyone else in the family that was diabetic as well?
Yeah,
it's hereditary for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom and dad, yes.
Okay. But did they have to do a transplant like you did?
No.
Okay. So it affected you the most.
Yes.
Okay. Now, was this on like both sides of the family? Because I know you all are related to Walter Hill. Is that on your side? Okay. So
I'm related. Okay, so that's my uncle by marriage. My aunt, my dad's sister was his wife, Uncle Walt's wife. So she was a transplant. She was a recipient of a lung, double lung transplant.
Okay.
But yeah, that's on my side of the family.
Okay. So this wasn't anything new to you.
No, it wasn't. I know about transplants. I've heard a lot from him, just taking care of my aunt the way he did and being a caregiver to her. I knew that transplant was very important to how it was to her and to him. And I watched how he would take care of her and take her to her appointments. And matter of fact, he was one of the first people I called when I was about to go through that at the Mayo Clinic with Stephen. He knew a lot about Mayo, so I would always call and ask him questions about Uncle Walt, what can I do or should I do? And he said, without a doubt, you need to go ahead and give your husband that kidney. If you're healthy enough to do it, by all means, he said, go ahead and do that. And it was the best decision that I ever made. And I just thank him and God, Lord above, because a lot of people don't get a chance to get a kidney or any kind of organ as quick as Steve did. And by me being right here with him, it just made the transition, the process a little easier. So I would tell anybody, if you're healthy enough to do it, it's not a bad thing to be a donor. You can save someone's life, and why not, get somebody else another chance at life.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure your kids are just so happy that they still have their father, in their life, that they don't have to worry about, who's going to help dad. And some people are on dialysis for like 10 years. Like they are on dialysis for a long time. It's a long journey, very, very long journey. And so, just to bring kudos to you again, because you are a living donor, for them. And we do know the differences, between a living donor and, someone that is deceased. And at first, Steve, I got to ask you, Stephen, did you really want your wife to give you a kidney? Were you hesitant in that decision at all?
I mean, going through dialysis, I would have taken it from somebody off the street. Whoever just raised their hand first. I mean, they said probably would be better telling me about kids, but I didn't really want to bother them being as young as they were. So she stepped up and pretty much said she would do it and she went through the process to see if she was a match, and she was a match, and she said she would do it. So yeah, I really thank her. I really thank God for her, and yeah, like I said, I mean, dialysis it gets rough on you. You don't want to be there, so yeah, you'll take it from anybody.
Right. So, give everyone a little bit of a background. How many days were you going on dialysis, and how were you working at the same time? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what happened. I'm gonna ask, that they come back on very quickly. As they said before, they are coming back on. Very good.
No, sorry.
Make sure I got you all in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you. Did you hear my question before?
No.
Okay. So you did dialysis for
Right.
For all of that time. Here's your wife, and you say you would have taken it from anybody at this point. Howsoever, people don't understand how crucial it is, because she had to be your blood type.
Right.
In order for that to happen. So it's not just oh, come on, let me take you and I'm gonna give you my kidney. People still understand that your height, your weight, your blood type, all of those things are taken into account before you can become an organ donor. So for what LaTasha went through, LaTasha, you want to share just a little bit of what you had to go through in order to be his person?
Yes. I think what it was, I went with him to the workup, and I didn't know what it took to become a donor and what I had to do. So it was like education for me. So when I heard that this was a blood type match is all that was needed, I immediately asked, could I have them check my blood type? And his was O positive, and I didn't know what mine was. And I think about a week later, the results came back, and they told me that I was O positive as well. And I told them to go ahead and sign me up. I would like to become a candidate to see if I can become a donor for him, a living donor. And I did a workup that took about a month. It took all of March of 2018 to do that workup. And all the results came back well as far as my testing, all of the evaluations they did. They checked me from A to Z, and everything came back well. They just needed me to lose 25 pounds. And from there, everything else was good. They just told me my blood type was good. All of the results good. I'm healthy. I just need to lose 25 pounds. So with that being said, I went on a mission. I went on a journey, a weight loss journey. I lost the weight within 4 months, and August of 2018, I weighed in at Mayo, and they told me that I lost the weight. I'm ready to set a date for transplant. And I set that date for October 23rd, 2018. So it took about a good 4 to 5 months of my journey, and then a little bit longer. So he was off, he didn't have a long wait to get the transplant once I lost the weight.
Oh, okay. So again, such a warrior woman, such a warrior woman.
Because I was on a mission.
Right. You're taking all of these steps to lose the weight, to take care of him, still be a mom, still be a wife. Girl, yes, you got a big W on your a big W on your chest, because you are a phenomenal woman to just do all of that. You mean to tell me I got to give you my kidney and I got to lose weight at the same time? Man.
Yeah, that's a lot. What
you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember you had to postpone it the first time. Is that correct? Like the first time you all were going, you had one date and it changed to the next. Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah, that was because I needed a immunization shot, and it took like a couple of weeks for it was 2 shots. You had to wait 3 weeks in between to get both of them. Okay. So it moved back like a month and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do know that you guys were fortunate enough to have, just about full coverage with your insurance and with your job. Some people I know have to raise a lot of money to even get on the list, as well. So, what a blessing that that your job had the insurance to cover, all of that. When it comes to your medicine, is there a financial strain? When you're still getting, is it the suppressants that you need?
No, just the co-payments. I usually get a 90-day supply. Most of them are between $10 and $4. But I know once your kidneys fail, they automatically put you on what's Medicare, and Medicare pays for some of it, a couple of medicines, but my insurance pays for the majority of my suppressants. Like I say, I usually get a 90-day supply, mail order supply, and they're between $10 and $4 for those medicines. So it's not a financial strain on me, but going to the dialysis center, I know a lot of people, like you say, were waiting and they couldn't afford to get the transplant because the medicines were so high and they couldn't afford it. So I am blessed to still keep working and have the insurance to pay for it. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that. You're still working.
That's correct. I am still working. Yes.
Oh my goodness, you still
I haven't
working?
hit the lottery yet, so I gotta go. Yeah.
Okay, so you are an essential worker.
I'm an essential worker. That's correct. That's correct.
Oh my goodness, you're still working. You're an essential worker. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Okay, so when he goes out, LaTasha, how do you feel? Uh-oh.
When he goes out to work,
Yes.
I'm okay when he goes to work. I just make sure he takes his medicines and take his insulin. Make sure he gets all his meds and shots, and he works really good. I mean, he doesn't have any problems at work. Sometimes he may be a little fatigued or something, but for the most part, he's been working. When did you start going back after the kidney transplant? He was only out for maybe 2 months after the surgery. So ever since then, he's been going full speed at work. So I just make sure that he has good meals and take care of him on my end. And then he come home and eat and go to bed or, wake up, take his meds. But around the clock, he hasn't stopped really working after that transplant. So he's doing really well. Yeah. Hold on a second.
Again, you guys are extremely blessed to be able to continue to work, even during these new times, the strange times, things that we've definitely never seen before. And you're going out to work. I'm pretty sure you're social distancing. You're washing your hands. Watching around the people that you're coming in contact with. And so, of course, that is very, very important. And I'm going to wait for them to come back on again. Okay.
Going out for some reason.
Here we have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's okay. We just roll with the punches. Absolutely roll with the punches. So when it comes to organ donation, you have been, you on both sides of your family, you've seen this, you're organ donor yourself. What exactly do you say to someone that is on the fence of being an organ donor?
For me, someone that's on the fence of becoming an organ donor, I say not to be so worried or scared about the donation part of it. It's a life-changing experience. I've learned a lot since I became an organ donor, things I didn't know before. I can't say that I was ever scared about donating to him.
Okay.
But some people are, and I get that. But I've been to several meetings at the clinic where they ask a lot of questions about the recovery time. And I feel that's the most, they probably get a little bit scared about recovering from it. But I was out the same day he left the hospital. We left out together 4 days after surgery. And recovery time is not a factor. I recovered smoothly. It's the distal incision that goes in and out, and I may have been in surgery maybe 2.5, 3 hours, and they said that I recovered well from it, and I was up and walking the same day. So donating is, I say, it's a blessing and a gift. It's
Wow.
nothing to be really scared of. If anybody's on the fence about it, I'll tell anybody to go ahead and donate if you're healthy to do it.
Right.
It's a good thing to do.
Right. So, I mean, you just stepped up right to the plate. That's my husband. I want him around, and I'm going to do it. And
yeah,
that's phenomenal. How did your daughters? How did they handle it when when you both went into surgery?
Yeah, they handled it well. At the time, I think the oldest one was a senior in high school, and she pretty much took care of my youngest daughter, which was maybe in 9th grade. And they handled it well. They are strong parents, and they come from a strong background. We teach them that, you know, it's better to give than receive, and you know, I think that they are strong girls, well-rounded girls. We didn't have any problems while we were in the hospital. They were taking care of home, and they would come out there and visit us and take care of home, do their schoolwork. So we didn't have to worry too much about their well-being. I had my aunt and my mom to come in and make sure they were, you know, good as far as eating and getting to and from, but they both were driving and moving around well. So they were excited about the whole process, probably a little anxious and nervous because, you know, they were young and not knowing what was going on. But for the most part, they had our back 100%. I think so.
What a blessing. Y'all just blessed all the way around. Just
yeah.
a blessing. And now, Stephen, how many pills or what is your medication intake these days?
I took 8 pills a day.
8 pills.
That's
okay. And now, is that more or less than you were doing before? Have you always taken 8 pills?
No, I was only taking the blood pressure and the cholesterol medicine, and now I'm taking the anti-rejection meds, about 4 of those, and taking a vitamin now, daily vitamin. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. You know, compared to heart transplant patients, you know, some of them are taking 25 pills a day.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. That is a lot. And you know, people, I guess, still don't understand that over 82% of people, or at least and I know I posted here, 82% of patients are in need of a kidney, you know, in this country. So I try to make sure I pull facts out and definitely inform and educate people exactly how much and how many people are still waiting, and how people don't say yes, that that is something that they would do, and you know, or how people have maybe like a cross transplant.
Right.
Where you know, more and more I see it on the TV shows. You know, kidney transplants or a big transplant they will kind of cross, you know, each other. One is going to give a kidney or a liver or something like it was, you know, huge. So it's definitely been, you know, very informative on television lately. And when they start saying different medications, I said, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. Just because you're in this community.
Right.
So, you know, it's a huge difference. And I promise you, every day, if I go out, I will meet someone in a doctor's office or at my job where someone say, hey, yeah, I got a friend that needs a kidney, or, you know, my spouse needs, you know, some type of transplant. You know, it is no longer a mystery or foreign. And just like you said, I remember seeing pictures of you all in the hospital after recovery at the same time, you all being in the same room together. You all just made it like, man, that's just a couple that was supposed to be together. That was divine intervention, their first date that you all had. So again, I'm so very grateful that you all came on the show, to definitely talk about this. And I know we spoke about this off air, but Stephen, what was your kidney function when you came back from Vegas? I think, was it really low? Like,
I think it got down to 27%, something like that.
wow.
Low. It was low.
Very low. Wow. That's amazing. So life after transplant, what are you all doing? Now any differences, any changes? I know
definitely changed the eating habits.
Okay.
Trying to exercise more. I had lost about 30 pounds, but they put me on prednisone. If anybody knows anything about prednisone, it's a steroid.
Yes.
And it drives your hunger up. So I'm trying to curb that. So I've gained some weight back. But definitely changed the eating habits, more exercise, drinking a lot of water. It's like a crazy parallels. Like you're on dialysis, they tell me you're gonna drink 40 ounces now. They want you to drink like 8 bottles of water a day. So it's kind of crazy, but you got to do it. Kind of keep your kidneys flush. Some of the medicines can sit inside the kidneys and damage them. So you got to drink a lot of water with that, and just trying not to go back on it. Just hoping the kidney holds up for as long as possible. I know you were telling me you had a family member had their kidney for 40 years. I'm hoping it lasts that long. We'll see. But I'm just trying to do my part to keep it healthy, not trying to let her down on giving it to me. And some of the medicines also, I think biggest adjustment is I can't be in the sun a whole lot. I like to do yard work, but the antidepressants is kind of lowers your ability to fight off things like UV rays. So if I'm in the sun a while, I have to use sunblock. So that's kind of crazy for me, but some things I got to do, different lifestyle changes. She was saying buffet, you can't eat at buffets. I can't drink pomegranate juice for whatever reason. It interacts with some of the medicines. But it's different things. They educate you on all that, and you just got to take the education and use it, and, hopefully your kidney lasts a long time.
That is our prayer for you, that you got this gift of life. You're treating it correctly, as a gift of life. I know some people that received different transplants, and they don't seem too happy. They want to go back to the old habits of, maybe I want to smoke again, maybe I want to drink again. And I asked them, like, do you know how many people would have killed to be able to have the chance that you received, and you behave in this way? So, it the ungratefulness. I'm shocked and appalled at, how some people, mistreat the gift of life that they were given. And speaking of my family member, my god sister, like he does her brother gave it to her. So, he does a lot of juicing. He's very healthy. He eats right. And, she does the same thing. So you definitely don't go out to the buffets and different. Right. you can't do that because you don't know what people put in their food. And let me tell you something. I became a chef with the air fryer. The air fryer.
Yeah, that's our best friend.
that became the best friend because that was healthy. As as caregivers and wives, we always want to make sure that the husbands, are taken care of very well. So again, I definitely thank you all for being on here and sharing your story. Really, your Valentine's love story. I did, I watched the video and I just thought it was remarkable of how well you all handled that. And the day of the transplant, who went first on the day of the transplant? You did or he did?
She did.
I did. They had to get it from me to give it to him.
Okay. So she went first.
I think we had to be there at 5:30 and my surgery was about 7:30.
7:00.
Yeah. And he couldn't go back with me. They had to prep him. So my mom went back with me until time to go under. And I said goodbye to him first, of course. And then we went our separate ways. And I didn't see him again probably till that night, the same night.
Okay.
And they made him get up and walk, I think, to my room the same night.
The same night.
Oh, yeah. So it's a smooth process. We healed well from it. We did everything they said to do, and here we are, almost 2 years later. So
2 years later.
Yeah.
Such a blessing.
Doing well. Yeah.
Everything just went well. That's just very awesome. Well, I will not hold you all much longer. I thank you, and you did such a great job. I guess because you're in your own space. You're in your own space. You did phenomenal, and I do thank you, and I appreciate you for everything that you've done for your family and such a hero.
Appreciate it.
And a role model for so many other people to see. Hey, if she can do it, maybe I could do it, and maybe I could, save my husband as well. But Steve, I'm watching you, Steve, and I'm just gonna make sure that you can't go nowhere.
I'm not.
You can't go nowhere. That kidney and her are a package deal.
Right. We are attached by the kidney.
That's right. You are attached. You got her and the children in you. Everybody's attached by something.
Right.
So,
That's true.
Thank you all so much. You'll have a good evening.
Thank you. You too, Naishanda.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Have a good one.
You
Thanks.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that is our show for tonight. If you would love to be an organ donor, please go to Donate Florida. Go to donateflorida.org. Please feel free to follow us on Transplant Talk with Naishanda. We have 100 subscribers. I'm absolutely ecstatic about that. And shout out to my students that also help, get the word out to so I can have my 100 subscribers. And guys, if you would, please just go to donatelifeflorida.org. Take it under consideration of becoming an organ donor. And tune in next week, where my next guest would be none other than Mr. John Leonard. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. School is out. School is over. If you would like to be part of this show and tell your story, if you are in need of a kidney transplant, if you are in need of a pancreas, liver, there are 8 different organs that you definitely can do to be an organ donor. Again, it does not have to be on your driver's license. You can go to donatelifeflorida.org and register. And please click on other, and you will see Save 1,000 Lives, and you can click on it from there. So that is our goal, for everyone to become an organ donor in this country. I appreciate you. Thank you. Please tune in next week. Don't miss it. Don't just meet me there. Beat me there. Have a good night.